Bible verses about love. And as I am reading from King James Bible, love is termed as charity, so that it doesn't confuse anyone who doesn't know it. I begin with the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 to 8. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, does not behave itself unseemingly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. 1 Corinthians 16:14. Let all your things be done with charity. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. 1 John 4:8. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. 1 Peter 4:8. And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitudes of sins. Colossians 3:14. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. John 13:34 and 35. A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By these shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another. John 15:13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. 1 Corinthians 13:13. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity. 1 John 4:19. We love him because he first loved us. Mark 12:29 to 31. And Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than this. Proverbs 10:12. Hatred stirreth up strife, but love covereth all sins. 1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear has torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. 1 John 4:7. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God, and knoweth God. Matthew 22, verses 36 to 40. Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thine soul, and with all thine mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. One On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have no charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could move mountains and have no charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burnt, and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Charity serveth long, is kind, charity envieth not, charity vaunteth not itself, it is not puffed up, does not behave itself unseemingly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail, whether they be tongues, they shall cease, whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see though through a glass. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity. Romans 8:5. But God commanded his love toward us, in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Ephesians 5:27. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commandments. Ephesians 4:2, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love. Proverbs 17:17, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. 1 John 3:1, beloved, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. 1 John 4:16, and we have known and believed the love that God has to us. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Romans 13:8, owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another has fulfilled the law. Romans 12:9, let love be without dissimulation, abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good.